Hello, everyone. Name's Mike Moran. I'm the author of the Believers superhero novel trilogy, and today we'll be reading chapter 24 of book one. So I'll share the screen so we can get started. And here we are, chapter 24, Praise and Glory. Jerry! Cynthia screamed. Huh? What? Jerry replied groggily. Jerry, wake up and get down here quick. You gotta see this, she screamed again. Jerry woke up in his bed at home after having a wild night in Dynamite City. It almost seemed like a dream to him, something that was not real, until he looked down at his shirt and saw all the tears, holes, and bloodstains from last night's encounter. He hastily changed his shirt, hustled downstairs, and saw last night's events on TV. His parents and Cynthia were sitting on the couch, watching the report, and could not take their eyes away. Someone in Dynamite City caught the whole thing on camera, and a female news reporter was narrating the story. Here we see a giant robot crashing through buildings and fighting gang members. Bullets are flying, even rockets and grenades. At one point, the hero is wrapped up in chains, and the gang boss approaches him to have a conversation. Things heat up when the mayor of Dynamite City walks out and gives a short speech. The mayor tries to defuse the situation, but the gang boss punches him across the face and knocks him out. Then the robot blows up and the camera goes out. Perhaps the explosion caused some kind of disruption. When the camera turns back on, we now see a tornado rushing through the city. It's a miracle that nobody died. Cynthia looked wide eyed at Jerry, standing behind the couch, and asked, Was that really you? Did you do all of that? Jerry looked down nervously and said, Yeah, that was me. Sorry if I worried you. Worried? I couldn't sleep last night until your mom texted me, Cynthia replied. Jerry's parents were still in shock, staring at the TV, as if they were seeing an alien creature for the first time. Cynthia wanted to say so many different things to Jerry, but did not know where to begin. Luckily, the mayor of Dynamite City appeared on TV for an interview, and everyone paid close attention. Mr. Mayor, the news reporter said, please tell us exactly what happened last night. In short, gang activity was out of control. They threatened to burn our city down, but Jerry Miller saved us. He saved the whole city, the mayor explained. Jerry Miller? Are you saying he was the giant robot? That's correct. So he's the one who caused all destruction? Shouldn't he be held responsible? The news reporter asked. No, absolutely not, because he did everything to save our city. He also ensured that nobody died, which makes him okay in my book, the mayor replied supportively. But what about the citizens? Many of their businesses were destroyed, and some people are homeless. What do you think about all this? The mayor pointed to the background, where everyone was working, and said, Take a look around. Do you see riots? Do you see anyone protesting? No. I see people finally coming together for a cause, a mission to rebuild their city. Everyone is working together to get the job done, as a community of equals. This city needed a fresh start, and now we have a fair chance. This time, we'll make it better than ever before, and it's all thanks to Jerry Miller. Did he really do it all by himself? The news reporter asked. We heard rumors of other people involved. Oh, yes, I'm glad you reminded me. I wanted to give a special thanks to Captain Grimes' police department for sending in two brave young police officers to help. They stopped dangerous snipers from hurting civilians. Is there anything else you can tell us about what happened last night? Actually, I have to get back to work, the mayor replied. We're all equals, helping rebuild our city, so it's time for me to do my part. The mayor put a construction cap on, walked away, and began helping workers in the background. The news reporter looked at the camera and said, Well, there you have it. Dynamite City is cleaning up its streets and getting a well needed makeover. We'll keep you updated on the latest news happening in Dynamite City as it comes in. For now, this is Jenny Lane, Channel 12 News, signing off. Mr. and Mrs. Miller turned off the TV and stared at Jerry. They could not believe all this was true. Mrs. Miller got up, went over, and hugged her son extra tightly. Why didn't you tell us? We could have helped. We could have done something for you. As she spoke, her voice began to quiver, and she teared up. It's okay, Mom, Jerry replied comfortingly. I'm fine. It's just part of the job. After his wife calmed down, Mr. Miller stood up, walked over, put his hand on Jerry's shoulder, and said, I'm proud of you, son. You did the right thing. Those people in Dynamite City will never forget what you did for them. As Cynthia watched Jerry with his parents, all her other thoughts and emotions went away. A few minutes ago, she wanted to tell Jerry how thoughtless and reckless he'd been to enter Dynamite City. She wanted to let him have it and make him feel guilty for calling her yesterday and making her feel scared and nervous. However, all of that went away as Cynthia watched Jerry with his family. She realized that he was the same good, loving person he had always been, and he was only trying to do the right thing for everyone. Thinking back to the phone call, Jerry started turning red because she remembered when Jerry said, I love you. He had never said that before, but she felt it now, genuine and true. Everything became clear to Cynthia. Without a doubt in her mind, she walked over, ready to apologize and express her love to Jerry. But then his cell phone rang. Her phone rang as well. For the next few minutes, everyone who had heard or seen the news was calling them to find out what happened. Ryan called Jerry first. Jerry, long time no see. Was that really you on TV? Yep, me in the flesh, Jerry replied confidently. Good to know. If you become famous and start going to big parties or meeting celebrities, hit me up. I'll join you for sure. No problem, Ryan. I gotta go because more people are calling me. All right, Jerry. Catch you later. When Cynthia answered her phone, it was her best friend, Alina. She immediately yelled, Cynthia! I just saw something in the news you'll never believe. They said your boyfriend saved Dynamite City. Is that true? Or is it just another guy with the same name? Yes, it was Jerry, Cynthia answered. Why didn't you tell me before? I didn't think it was a big deal. Not a big deal. He's a superhero. That's definitely a big deal, Alina exclaimed. I gotta go. My mom's calling me, Cynthia said, trying to cut the conversation short. Sure, fine. Leave me hanging. You owe me a girls' night and a full explanation. I want all the details, especially what happens when. Alina! We'll talk about that later. Bye. Bye. Jerry clicked over to his next phone call. It was Vaughn Grimes. Dude, we're on TV. This is so bad. My dad's gonna kill us, Vaughn exclaimed. I figured this would happen. I guess we'll just have to face the music, Jerry said with an accepting tone. Are you kidding me? He may fire you, but I have to live with him. Sorry if I got you in trouble, Vaughn. No worries. I'll figure something out. Wow. You'll never guess who's calling me now. Your dad, Jerry said reluctantly. Good luck, man. Thanks, Vaughn. Peace. Jerry took a deep breath, braced for the worst, and switched over to Captain Grimes' call. Jerry Miller, come to my office now, Captain Grimes commanded. Will do, Jerry replied, not looking forward to their meeting. Jerry put his phone away. His parents were looking at him. They heard the captain's raging voice booming through the phone. Before Jerry said a word, they wished him good luck. Cynthia looked at Jerry and said, Thank you. For what? Jerry asked. I'll tell you later, I promise. Good luck with the captain. Thanks, Cynthia. See you soon. Jerry followed the captain's orders and teleported directly into his office. He was talking on the phone with someone. Surprisingly, he looked happy, but his face changed as soon as he looked up and saw Jerry. Captain Grimes said goodbye to the person on the phone and hung up. He told Jerry to sit down and began his spiel. Do you know how many phone calls I've received this morning, Jerry? Hundreds. Everyone and their grandmothers have called to ask about you and the two police officers who saved Dynamite City. Why didn't you tell me about this? I knew you'd probably say, no, don't do it, don't go. That's exactly what I would have said, Captain Grimes screamed. Jerry remained quiet. Captain Grimes took a second to breathe and then continued. This is precisely what I didn't want. Now, everyone knows about you. All I wanted was a nice, peaceful morning, and now I've become your personal secretary. I want to fire you so badly. You disobeyed my direct order to never step foot in Diamond City again. You also did it like a cowboy, breaking all the rules, and you didn't even have the guts to tell me. Jerry shot upward, slammed his hands on Captain Grimes' desk, and said with courage, I wanted to tell you. I wanted you to be a part of it, but I knew you wouldn't let me go, which is why I asked Vaughn for help. I knew I couldn't do it alone, and I knew I could count on him because he's your son. I also hoped he would call you in case we needed backup, but I know that's not a good excuse. I broke all the rules. I put Vaughn in danger, and I broke the one promise I made to you. I feel terrible, and I'm really sorry, but I had to help everyone in Dynamite City at all costs, and I didn't want you to get in trouble if we failed. Jerry sat back in his chair and calmed down, expecting backlash. But Captain Grimes was immensely surprised. The old Jerry would have apologized and sat quiet, but this time he defended himself with passion and maturity. The captain was quiet for a moment. He sat back in his chair and said, Do you want to know the truth? I'm proud of you. You followed your heart and enlisted your most trusted friends to help. Even though you broke the rules and took risks, it all worked out, and you saved Dynamite City. Maybe you didn't do it the way I wanted, and maybe things got a bit messy, but you got the job done, and nobody died. Most importantly, you gave my son purpose. He really wants to be a cop now. He wants to serve and protect the innocent, just as you do. I can't thank you enough for everything you've done. I no longer see you as just a cop, but a true hero, and I'd be honored to fight alongside you next time. Don't leave me out of the loop in the future. I can help you bust criminals and guide you along the way. Do we have a deal? A real promise this time? Jerry breathed a sigh of relief and said, Yes, sir. Captain Grimes shook his hand and said, You're dismissed. Jerry smiled and excitedly teleported back to his parents' house. He instantly appeared inside their living room, and Mrs. Miller jumped with surprise. She had never seen her son teleport before and was not expecting it. Cynthia, on the other hand, smiled and ran to Jerry. She gave him a big hug, as if he had been gone forever. He was a bit confused, but pleasantly surprised by her reaction. He smiled, but soon saw his father walking over to him with a serious look. Jerry asked his father what was wrong, and he handed Jerry an envelope. He opened it up, and there was a note inside saying, Keep up the good work, and we'll contact you in the future. We'll keep the news media off your back as well. There was also something else inside, a government check for $5,000. It had the official government seal and Jerry Miller's name on it. He jumped up and said, Dad, check it out. Mr. Miller looked concerned and said, A man wearing a black suit and black sunglasses walked out of a black SUV, handed me an envelope, and walked away. If that's not suspicious, then I don't know what is. I'm not sure if we should accept this money. Are you kidding me, Dad? This check is perfectly safe. It even has the official government seal on it, Jerry exclaimed. Even if it is safe, does accepting this money mean that you now work for the government as a spy or something? Isn't this all a bit weird to you? Dad, I know you're trying to look out for me, but I've heard you and Mom talking about taking a dream beach vacation, and this is our chance. I don't know if this is the best idea, Mr. Miller reiterated with uncertainty. Dad, you only live once, right? You've worked hard your whole life, and now you have a chance to enjoy a great vacation, and you're not going to take it? Jerry asked persuasively. Mr. Miller was about to continue arguing, but his wife interrupted and said, Truthfully, we only need about $3,000 for the vacation. We could donate the rest to Diamond City. They are accepting donations to help rebuild their city. Cynthia excitedly jumped in and said, That's a great idea. If that's okay with you, Mr. Miller. Mrs. Miller smiled at Cynthia, and Mr. Miller realized he was outnumbered in this scenario. Not wanting to let everyone down, Mr. Miller gave in and said, All right, we'll do it. Everyone jumped for joy and hugged Mr. Miller, which made him smile. That's it. That's the end of chapter 24. It was short and sweet. Hope you all enjoyed it, and hopefully see you all for the next video. Thank you so much.